Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello students, here we go again. We are going to study English again, and of course still with me, Wahyu Permana, in Mr. Wafar channel. And now we are going to talk about historical recount. Okay, are you ready to study? Let's get it on. Historical recount. This is for grade 10 semester 2, right? And of course you are studying with me, Wahyu Permana, from SMA Negeri 1 Anjatan. Are you ready? Alright, let's talk about it. And before we talk about historical recount further, we are going to talk about core competency or kompetensi inti and basic kompetensi or kompetensi dasar. Let's talk about them first. Okay, to make it easier, I'm going to talk in bahasa Indonesia. Kompetensi inti yang akan kita pelajari kali ini adalah memahami, menerapkan, menganalisis pengetahuan faktual, konseptual, prosedural berdasarkan rasa ingin tahu tentang ilmu pengetahuan, teknologi, seni, budaya, dan humaniora dengan wawasan kemanusiaan, kebangsaan, kenegaraan, dan peradaban terkait penyebab fenomena dan kejadian, serta menerapkan pengetahuan prosedural pada bidang kajian yang spesifik sesuai dengan bakat dan minatnya untuk memecahkan masalah. That is the core competency of our material today. And next, selanjutnya kompetensi dasar. Ada 3 kompetensi dasar. Yang pertama adalah kompetensi dasar nomor 3.4, membedakan fungsi sosial, struktur teks, dan unsur kebahasaan beberapa teks recount lisan dan tulis dengan memberi dan meminta informasi terkait peristiwa bersejarah sesuai dengan konteks penggunaannya. Kemudian untuk yang kedua, 4.4 itu teks recount peristiwa bersejarah, dan 4.4.1 menangkap makna secara kontekstual terkait fungsi sosial, struktur teks, dan unsur kebahasaan teks recount lisan dan tulis terkait peristiwa bersejarah. Those are the core competency and basic competency that we are going to learn from our material now. Okay, let's go on. Indicators. This material has 2 indicators. The first one is to identify the purpose of historical recount, and the second is to identify the structure of historical recount. So there are only 2 indicators that we are going to study now from this video. Okay, now let's talk about historical recount further. Let's talk about the purpose. Remember this. The purpose of historical recount is to tell the readers an episode that happened in history. To make it easier, I'm going to talk in bahasa Indonesia. Jadi untuk memberitahukan pada pembaca tentang sebuah kejadian, sebuah episode yang terjadi di dalam sejarah masa lampau. That's the purpose, to tell the readers an episode that happened in history. Now let's talk about the structure. Historical recount has 3 structure. The first one is orientation. In orientation, there will be information about who, when, and where. Jadi di orientation ini akan diperkenalkan dulu di mana tempat kejadiannya, kapan terjadinya, dan siapa saja yang terlibat di dalam kejadian bersejarah tersebut. That's the first structure. And the second is events. The events are presented in chronological order. Jadi kejadian-kejadian tadi, peristiwa bersejarah tadi diceritakan berdasarkan urutan kronologis. dari awalnya seperti apa, kemudian terjadi kejadian apa lagi, begitu seterusnya. Chronological order, secara secara runut, secara kronologis. Okay, and the last is reorientation, and this is optional. In reorientation, the event starts to end, and the writer may provide an opinion about what happened. Jadi reorientation ini optional, pilihan, mungkin ada di teks atau mungkin juga tidak tertulis di situ. Jadi optional, bisa ada bisa tidak. Di reorientation ini kejadian bersejarah tadi mulai berakhir, mulai pada penghujung kejadiannya, mulai pada akhir kejadiannya, dan mungkin biasanya penulis bisa jadi mengutarakan pendapat pribadinya tentang peristiwa bersejarah tersebut. Those are the structure of historical recount. Remember, there are three structure: orientation, events, and reorientation. And reorientation is optional. Okay, let's go on. In historical recount, there are some language features that you are going to find in the text. The use of sentence connector, for example, firstly, secondly, next, last, finally. And then the use of past verb, of course, recount deals with past verb. And the use of past tense. Recount always deals with past tense. Jadi ada beberapa language feature, unsur kebahasan yang bisa kita lihat, kita dapatkan di historical recount itu, yaitu tentang sentence connectors, kata penghubung, biasanya firstly, secondly, next, last, finally. Nah, terus penggunaan kata kerja bentuk lampau, past verb. Remember, past verb berarti verb to ya. Lalu the use of past tense, penggunaan kalimat past tense. Okay, now let's study the example of historical recount. Look at this. We are going to read all together. Kita baca bareng-bareng ya. Are you ready? Okay, let's read all together. World War II in the Pacific ended after Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings. The Empire of Japan surrendered to the Allies aboard USS Missouri in 1945. It inspired the East Indies or Indonesian nationalists to proclaim independence, which Japanese had promised. Next paragraph. Soon, the leaders of Indonesian nationalist movement insisted that Sukarno, a son of a school teacher and theosophist, and Hatta, a Sumatra economist, proclaimed Indonesian independence on August 17, 1945. They were also appointed president and vice president of the new nation. After the Japanese fled from the East Indies, the Dutch came back to recover the territory. They realized that the East Indies was very important for the Dutch economy. Armed with Japanese weapons, the nationalists declared war on the Dutch. However, with their modern weapons, the Dutch were able to make significant headway in Sumatra and Java. Let's see the last paragraph. The Dutch aggression came under much criticism from the United Nations. They proposed a negotiation between the Dutch and the Indonesian nationalist movement, and both sides agreed to negotiate. Eventually, a conference of 120 delegates was held in The Hague. In Dutch, it is Den Haag. In 1949, the Indonesian nationalist delegates were led by Muhammad Hatta. After 10 weeks of meetings, both sides reached an agreement by which the Dutch recognized the sovereignty of the United States of Indonesia, with Queen Juliana as the titular head of the Indonesian Union. The text is adapted from http www.historytoday.com. Okay, those it is an example of historical recount. Now let's talk about the structure of the text. Remember, there are three structures, right? Orientation, events, and reorientation. Let's find out which paragraph is the orientation, which paragraph is the event, and is there any reorientation in the text? Okay, let's talk about it. Yep, let's talk about the structure. The orientation is in the first paragraph. Remember, in orientation we talk about where the event happened and when it happened, and who was involved in the events. Okay, who was involved, where it happened, and when did it happen. Now let's see the paragraph. Okay, here is the orientation. First paragraph is the orientation, right? See, from World War II in the Pacific ended, after that, so on and so forth, up to which Japanese had promised. This is the orientation. And next is events. The event is in paragraph 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4. In the event, there will be opening sequence. Paragraph 2 is the opening sequence, and then event 1, event 2, event 3, so on and so forth. Let's see the complete paragraph of events. Now, take a look at this. Paragraph 2, paragraph 3, and paragraph 4. So, it is included into event. In this text, there is no reorientation. Jadi dalam teks ini tidak ada reorientation ya, karena semuanya masuk ke events. Okay? Alright, that is historical recount. Sekarang kita sum up, let's sum up. Kita rangkum ya, kita rangkum. Nah, kembali kita bahas dari awal. Kalau historical recount, the purpose of historical recount is to tell the readers an episode that happened in history. Remember, to tell the readers an episode that happened in history. And the structure, there are three structures. The first is orientation. In orientation, it will be presented the background information on who, where, and when. And then the events are presented in chronological order. Remember, chronological order. And the last is the orientation, and this will be optional. The event start to end, and the writer may provide an opinion about what happened. Okay, students, that is our discussion for now. And of course, after seeing this video, I hope you are able to identify the purpose of historical recount and the structure, to identify the structure of historical recount. Okay, thank you very much for watching. See you again in the next content, in the next video. Of course, still with me, Mr. Wapper, and I'm Wahyu Permana. See you again. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.